Extremist violence in Africa is surging. Last year, more than 20,000 people were killed in the region, which extends more than 3,500 miles from east to west on the continent. Our Debora Patta joined military exercises with NATO allies and African soldiers for a closer look at how they're training to counter the threat.
U.S. Special Forces and their NATO allies training alongside African soldiers in counter-terrorism drills. It's called Flintlock. Special ops exercises like rescuing hostages from a simulated airport attack, a very real scenario in the Sahel.
1-2 Zulu, hostage ready to move, time now.
Home to the world's fastest growing terror groups linked to Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Ghana is one of few countries in the region that has dodged the rapid rise of violent extremism, and General Frank Tay of the Ghanaian Armed Forces said they've done this by blocking any potential incursion before it reaches their borders.
Once you allow terrorist activities in a particular country to fester, then that can spread across the globe.
This is exactly what the U.S. fears. AFRICOM Deputy Commander Lieutenant General John Brennan says Flintlock is not only about military training.
We offer things that are meaningful in the long term, sharing democratic values, instilling the rule of law.
But that hasn't worked out so well over the past decade. There have been 11 coups in the Sahel alone, at least 14 of their leaders trained at Flintlock.
The hope is you keep contact with the military partners, and then you pull them away from military-led governments, which never last.
How do you ensure that the very skills you're teaching here at Flintlock are not then weaponized and used to subvert democracy?
We teach them how to protect their forces in combat, and then how to conduct successful counterterrorism operations. That has nothing to do with overthrowing a government.
Flintlock has expanded to include maritime training, like rappelling onto a moving warship hijacked by armed militants. The Sahel runs all the way to the Red Sea, where Houthi militia have launched attacks on U.S. naval vessels. This annual training operation could not have come at a more crucial time for the U.S. military, as American influence on this continent is in deep decline. The U.S. is up against stiff competition. China and Russia offer resources with no strings attached, while America has been forced off the front line of the fight against terror. Its more than 1,000 troops stationed at military bases in Niger have been ordered to leave the country by September after a coup last year. Now Russia has stepped in to exploit that power vacuum. Its mercenaries arrived in Niger in April. Once unimaginable, they now share opposite sides of an airbase with the U.S., prompting a strong note of caution from America's ambassador to Ghana, Virginia Palmer.
It's important that our African partners understand that what the Russians are offering is maybe regime protection. It's certainly not national security, and that what those countries are paying for that is extraordinarily high.
What Russia provides is military muscle in exchange for mineral wealth, but unlike the U.S., with none of those tricky human rights questions.
Time will tell that the decision's probably not a good one. So you don't feed your kids ice cream for dinner every night because they want it, right? You feed them vegetables.
The U.S. restricts military aid to armies guilty of human rights abuses. But many leaders here accuse America of double standards, withholding aid from some African nations, while Israel is given billions of dollars despite global condemnation of its war in Gaza.
Is there a double standard, and how do you counter that argument?
I don't think there's a double standard, but I can tell you our values and the people that we do partner with, even after coups, we are still able to influence them.
The Flintlock exercises are part of America's long-term strategy on a crowded battlefield of malign actors, bolstering African partnerships to defeat the growing terror threat.
And Debora Patta just got back from Ghana and joins me now from Johannesburg, South Africa. Debora, given all of the malign actors, can the U.S. turn around the situation in Africa and keep a strong foothold?
You know, John, what the US does offer, which other competitors like Russia, for example, do not, is the weight of its international allies, of NATO. At this training exercise, you saw the Dutch, the British, the Italians played a huge role, leading much of the maritime training, for example. But as we laid out in our report, what they are up against are Russian mercenaries who don't care who they do business with. That includes coup leaders, nor do they care how business is done. And we know from our own investigations that whenever Russian mercenaries have been involved in places like Central African Republic or Mali, it has not resulted in more security, but less. Russian mercenaries themselves have been accused of horrific human rights abuses, of massacres, of rape, of torture, and they've plundered natural resources like gold and timber. So in some ways, the US is fighting with one hand behind its back because it conditions military aid around human rights, and obviously it's not going to prop up a military junta. As Ambassador Palmer told us, these countries actually need more democracy, not less, and I guess the hope is that Flintlock can boost these partnerships. But it's also about what happens on the edge of these training events. We saw the networking opportunities, the relationships that were forming. So hopefully, if there is another coup, these countries can work together. One of the most interesting things about Flintlock is that you had the two rival military groups from Libya, the LNA and the GNA, that controlled different parts of the country in the same training event. Now, that's something very rare indeed. Whether that helps in the long term, time will tell, and time's on America's side, as this region really has become a global epicenter for terror and for groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda, John.
Debora Patta from Johannesburg, thank you so much.